Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection, released November of 2023. Retailing for $29.99, available on all modern platforms. This is a collection of 7 games, licensed from the original Jurassic Park movies, featuring games from the Game Boy, the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the Genesis. These are licensed games from the 90s, so they aren't exactly super faithful to the source material. This was standard for licensed games at the time, and in many ways they are limited in how faithful they could be by the hardware they were made for. You have essentially 2 different styles of games here. You have games with a top-down perspective, and games that are side-scrolling. Though, it is worth noting that one of the games does have first-person sections. And they are just as good as any first-person shooter was back on the Super Nintendo. While these games are of decent quality, they are also far more difficult than what you might be used to if you're a modern gamer. But don't let that deter you, as you can of course save state and rewind in this collection. This collection is only the 7 games. There is no bonus gallery, no design documents, no concept art, no commentary. What you get is 1 NES game, 2 Game Boy titles, 2 Genesis titles, and 1 Super Nintendo game, which is a little light considering the $30 price tag. But there is some decent variety for these 7 games, as you have top-down shooters, side-scrolling shooters, one game that is trying to feel like a cinematic platformer and not quite making it, and 1 solitary game where you can actually play as a dinosaur. So is Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection worth your time and money? At $30 for 7 games? Absolutely not. And in fairness, all of these games are fairly decent. But for $30, you do expect a little more from a collection. But if you have nostalgia for these games, you probably already have other means to play these. This kind of stripped-down basic collection should really have a lower price point of $15 or maybe $20 at the absolute most. I only have a copy of this game because I happened to find a physical version of the release that was on a clearance rack at Target for $10. It is the PS5 version, if you're curious. This collection feels like a cash grab. They've made several modern Jurassic Park movies of various quality, and this game collection is meant to grab the attention of Dad after taking the kids to see the newer movies, to show the kids what they played back in the day, after seeing the first Jurassic Park movie. So, unless you find this collection extremely cheap the way I did, it's best to just avoid this one. So that's going to be a hard pass on Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.